Hello and welcome to Marketing 223 Customer Service. My name is Nicole Peters and I will be your instructor for this semester. This course is offered 100% online and lasts between now until May 6th. Please check your email often, daily if you can. I do tend to be very communicative and send out important reminders and other announcements. In this short video, I will briefly navigate Blackboard, go over the orientation, discuss the attendance policy, the syllabus, and the course assignments. So let's go ahead and take a look at Blackboard. Once you log in, you will come to a landing page. Here you will find important information, important announcements regarding the course. Anytime I create an announcement, it automatically sends you an email. And so it may look like you're receiving an email from me, when in fact it's actually an announcement that also copies into your email as well. Now your Blackboard may look slightly different than mine. There's some areas down here that you will not have, but this information over to the upper left hand corner is should be identical. For instance, we have contact information. This will give you information regarding how to contact me or anyone in the department. Then we have the orientation, the syllabus, the course due dates, the course modules, and the discussion board. Below that, you will have my grades and the calendar. Let's go ahead and look briefly at my grades and calendar. I will go back to the syllabus and the orientation in just a minute, but I do want to briefly point out my grades and the calendar. And so the My Grades link will show you what is due and when, along with your grade for the assignment. So think of this as a working to-do list. It has all of your assignments listed, the due date, and then points earned if I've graded it. In the calendar, some of you may prefer a calendar view of your assignments and when they're due. And so that's what this is. You'll notice that here on the 13th, you have your first upcoming assignments that are due. I'll discuss those in just a moment. I will ask, please don't send me an email if you're confused on when things are due and what is due and when they're due. You have it not only in your My Grades, but the calendar. You also have it in the course due dates as well that I will go over in just a moment. Let's go ahead and now take a look at the orientation. So the student orientation is very important for you to complete. You must complete the orientation in order to remain in the course. And if you do not complete the orientation, you will be dropped from the class. The due date is found in Blackboard under the announcements page, but I will just let you know that it is due on January 13th. Everything is due by end of day, which is midnight. In order to complete the orientation, you will click on the orientation link to the left. You complete the orientation. There are 4 action items that must be completed. These action items include taking the orientation, the quiz, then the plagiarism tutorial, and then the academic integrity quiz as well. Let's take a look to see what this looks like. So you will click on orientation. You will then click on 2 areas. One is orientation in red, and then the other is the plagiarism tutorial. Anytime you see a folder, just so you know, that indicates that there's information located below that folder. So I will click on orientation, and in here you will see there are 7 steps that you need to perform in order to complete the orientation. I want to point out in step 3, it does ask you to send me an email and then post in the discussion board. And step 7 is complete the orientation. You will then click on orientation quiz and complete that as well. If you have any questions on how to post in the discussion board, you will find that information in in one of the steps. I'll go ahead and go through that with you. And then here it is as well. You will click on discussion board. You will come into the icebreaker assignment. Click on icebreaker, and then create a thread. Under the announcements, went back a little too early, my apologies. Under the announcements, you will find all that information as well with due dates, And here are your 4 action items. There should be no confusion as to what is due and when, as it's listed here. It's listed in your course due dates, your calendar, and so on. Let's talk about the attendance policy. Students must attend 80% of all scheduled contact hours. If absences exceed 20%, the faculty member may drop you from the course. Attendance is taken in the online environment by logging into the course and submitting your assignment, your work. If you do not log into the course and submit assignments for at least 80% of the time, you will be dropped from the course. It is policy. And what that means to you is that there are 16 weeks of due dates, I guess you will. Well, the semester is really, I think, 17 or 18 weeks. However, we have some breaks in there. But as far as what is expected, there are 16 working weeks. And what that means is that in order to receive a grade for this class, you must submit assignments for 13 of those 16 weeks. That's the 80% there, if you do the math. If you fail to log into the course for 2 straight weeks, the instructor can also drop you as well. So if an emergency does arise and you are not able to log into the class, please let me know. I can work with you through certain situations. But if it's just a matter of you're just too busy, things are busy at work, or things are just too much for you to take this class right now, then those aren't excusable, of course. But feel free to reach out and we can work through that. If something tragic does happen, we can work through that. Let's talk about the syllabus. The syllabus is located in Blackboard and it gives you important information. Faculty information, outcomes, textbook, talks about the attendance policy as well, grading policies, and then other policies. Syllabus can be found right over here under syllabus. And then when you click on the folder syllabus, you will then see the syllabus is copied and pasted, listed here. I also have it as a document, a Microsoft Word document. If you want to download that, you can. It's not necessary, it's not mandatory, but it is there for your review as well. Some people like the hard copies, and some people like just having it in Blackboard. So the syllabus talks about the course. This course stresses the importance of customer relations in the business world, and it has an emphasis placed on how to respond to difficult situations or stressful situations. The learning outcome, upon completion, you should be able to demonstrate the ability to handle difficult customers. And then the textbook is Customer Service Skills for Success by Robert Lucas, 7th edition. In the syllabus, it also discusses late work policy. So all tests and assignments are expected to be taken on time, and late work will not be accepted late. I'll talk a little bit about that as far as late work is concerned. In the professional world, missing deadlines or being late for work will result in your termination from the job. Now, I'm not going to fire you from this class if you submit or you try to submit something late, or you're missing for a week. No, I'm obviously not going to do that. However, it is expected that work is submitted in a timely manner. That's how it is in real life, and that's how it is in college. You're an adult, you work 7 days, or excuse me, there are 7 days in a week, there's 24 hours in a day. And so I've been in your shoes. I've been a student. I've also been working full-time when I'm a student myself. I was working, as a mother, parenting, working, being a student. I've worn all of those hats at the same time. As I know just how difficult life can be. Life gets lifey. And that doesn't mean, however, that your responsibilities change. And so what that means is don't wait until Sunday evening to do your work in this class. All the assignments are due Sunday evenings just to make it easy. I'm going to highly recommend or strongly recommend that you don't wait until Sunday at 9 o'clock to do your work. Things come up. Life gets lifey. It's one of my favorite expressions. People get sick. You get sick. Maybe your child gets the flu. Maybe your computer crashes. Because my computer, while it doesn't always crash, it happens to always, Murphy's Law, it always happens when I need it, right? And because there are 7 days in a week, 24 hours in a day, that's 168 hours of opportunity that you have to do your work. I'm going to strongly suggest you do your work earlier in the week and don't wait until Sunday night. Now, if you do send me an email letting me know that you're not submitting work because you are sick, my response is going to be, I'm very sorry you're sick. Please get better soon. I do wish you the best. I don't want anyone to be sick, but that's not an excusable reason not to get your work in. So don't expect me to excuse it. Now, I will work through certain tragic situations, but I will let you know that those situations do need to be tragic. And we won't talk about that, but if for some reason something comes up and you want to discuss it, I'm open to a conversation, but just to let you know, I'm not going to accept late work if it's because you're sick or your child's sick. You'll just have to have a 0 for that week. It's not the end of the world. If you're doing all of your other assignments and 1 week you can't submit something, it's not going to be the end of the world. You can still pass this class without submitting, an assignment or 2. Now, it'll be a little bit difficult, but it can be done. The course outline discusses responsibilities of the student and the instructor, along with the expected student outcomes. I'll show you where that can be located. So we have the syllabus, course outline. It's located right below that. And then here we have, again, I just mentioned the expected student outcomes, responsibilities, and then the content. The course is divided into 4 parts. You have the profession of customer service, skills for success, building and managing relationships, and then retaining customers. There are several chapters that are related to the different parts, and so this is the breakdown. You can also find that information here as well. Moving on to the course module and assignments. Let's talk about those expectations. Well, first off, each week you are expected to read the relevant chapters and then complete the written or discussion board assignments, and these are worth 20 points each. There are module exams. There are 4 module exams. There are 4 times throughout the semester. They are worth 100 points. So these are just tests that cover the 4 different parts you went over. Then last, there is a final worth 200 points. So the written or discussion board assignments, each assignment will have instructions that outlines what's expected. In order to receive full credit, it must be error-free. No spelling or grammatical mistakes, please. Also, I would like you to submit it either in a Microsoft or other RTF type file. And please, no crazy fonts or headings or colors. Just professional work is expected. As far as your tests and quizzes, and final, you have 4 exams. They're worth 100 points each for a total of 400 points. 50 questions, true, false, multiple choice questions, combination. So the same format is both for the test and the final. So the final also has 50 true, false, or multiple choice questions. It's open book. You have 120 minutes, that's 2 hours to take the test and or the final, and you have 1 attempt. 2 hours is plenty of time to take that final. I'm averaging, when I run the reports, it looks like on average people take anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes at the most to take both either the exam or the final. I think I had 1 student take an hour to take the final, but for the most part, there should be plenty of time for you to take that. Let's talk about how to do well. Before we do that, let me go ahead and show you the course modules and assignments here. And here I have it laid out to where you come in, you see the course introduction, the expectations, and the overview, which has the different modules. Then below that you have the 4 different modules listed and the dates that correspond. There really should be no confusion with navigation. If there is, if something is confusing, please let me know. I'll see if I can put it in a different format for you. But I feel as though this is pretty straightforward and laid out easily for navigation. The first module, the profession, is from January 17th until February 3rd. You come in here, and then it will list what chapters and what your expectations and everything that is due in the due dates, your learning objectives and outcomes. To access Chapter 1, you will click on the Chapter 1 folder, and in there you will find the PowerPoint, key terms. If you click on this particular folder, you will drill down and find information on key terms, and then your written assignment that is due. And so here are the written instructions. I'm not going to go through this, but I show you everything is laid out, what I expect, specifications, and what the possible points are that are due. In order to submit an assignment, you would just click right here. You can see that when I hold my mouse over it, it turns into the pointer, and then click in there. And from here, gives you that information. I will attach a file. Please don't submit a text submission. I don't like the text submissions. They don't format well, and a lot of times what I have to do is I have to take that information, I have to then copy and paste it into Word myself, and that's a lot of extra added work for me. So I'm going to ask you to create a document, save that document, and then upload it this way. And then you would click Submit. If you have any questions on how to submit an assignment or how to submit a discussion board post, you can find again that information under how this course works under the orientation. Here are the course due dates. I'm not sure if I've gone over this already. If I have, I apologize, but this will give you an idea of what is due, a visual of what is due and what is working each week, what is needed. Let's talk about how to do well in this course, and then we will wrap up. First of all, do your work. I expect you to read each chapter each week, complete your assignments on time, and submit quality work. You know, obviously, if you're submitting high quality work and you're submitting that in a consistent basis throughout the semester, you should do very well in this course. Customer service is not rocket science. And so if you are putting the time and effort into this class, you will be rewarded with a good grade. Where people struggle, or where students struggle, I should say, is that they tend to either procrastinate, or they don't do the work, or they don't, they're not trying as hard as they should. Again, customer service is not rocket science, so you should be able to do well in this class. If you do your work and do it consistently with high quality work, it shouldn't be an issue. Right. Let's talk a little bit about the online environment. It is different than taking a traditional face-to-face class. In an online environment, you are the teacher. I am just the instructor, or excuse me, I am just the facilitator. You are the teacher. You're the one that has to learn, read the material, teach yourself the information. I'm here to answer questions, but I'm really here to facilitate your learning. We don't have a classroom where I can, give a lecture, and I certainly don't come to your house and go over the information with you. And so you're expected to read all the information and the material. I think where a lot of students struggle is they struggle with procrastination and having the motivation and taking the time to read either the chapter or what's required. I think if you dedicate a few hours a week to this course, I think you're going to do just fine. But at the end of the day, you are accountable for your own learning. I don't go through things for you. All right. Well, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at any time. And I look forward to a wonderful semester. Thank you so much.